The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came.
Cast a spell on me. You hit me like the sky fell on me. And I decided you look well on me. So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me.
Turn the lights out now. Now I'll take you by the hand you another drink. Drink it if you can. Can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from us, so stay with me. I can make you glad you came.
The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came.
I'm glad you came.
You glad you came.
The sun goes down, the stars come out.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night, let's live it up. I got my money, let's spin it up. Go out and smash it, like oh my God. Jump out that sofa, let's get off.
I know that we'll have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, spaced out, and losing all control.
Fill up my cup, Mazel tov. Look at her dancing, just take it off. Let's paint the town, we'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof,
And then we'll do it again.
let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's live it up and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna
in the club, party rock. Looking for your girl, she on my jock. Non-stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Tight jeans, tattoo, cause I'm rock and roll. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, open up.
Yeah, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the clue that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
party rock is in the house tonight.
woo!
Everybody just have a good time. Yeah. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Let's go. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you
Shake that.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Wake up if you believe love is not a fading dream. Tell me I'm not the only one who feels this way right now. Lonely, needs a friend. Ask him where he's been. You could be the light that comes and turns his world around. I don't wanna run, I don't wanna hide when someone needs somebody. I don't wanna say I don't get the time when someone needs somebody. With a little faith and a little soul, we can't go wrong, we can't go wrong. When our heart breaks and the world shakes, will we stand for the vision of love? When a tear falls and the fear calls, will we stand for the vision of love? Will we stand for the vision of love? Sing whoa, 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 whoa.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach. So she ran away in her sleep and dreamed of paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes. When she skies. She said, oh, I know the sun will set tonight.
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 One step closer. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
Direct your attention to our two doors as I bring in the family of our bat mitzvah girl. Let's hear it, Mom and Dad, and the rest of the family. Here they come. And right now, the moment we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here she comes, our one and only bat mitzvah girl. Everybody make some noise, scream and shout, raise the roof. There she is, here she comes, our one and only bat mitzvah girl, Margot. You know what to do, it's officially Simcha dance time. All the girls around us. mazel tov, mazel tov, simmer tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmer tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmer tov, yeah, simmer tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmer tov, simmer tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmer tov, simmer tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmer tov, yeah, come close to the DJ booth. All the girls, DJ booth. Where is our one Mitzvah girl, Margot? Not an easy thing to do in that lovely dress. Nice, Margot! Who's next? Charles, who's next? Ronan, you should be jumping. Go ahead, Ronan. Next song. Yerushalayim Oh, we got Margot up in the chair! Everybody wave to Margot! Margot, wave to your crowd, wave to your adoring fans, Margot, let's go! You can wave, come on! Let's go! We're not done yet, bring her down, let's get back in the circle. All the ladies, I'd like to ask you to join the circle one more time. All the ladies, get back in a big circle, let's go. Yerushalayim Yira. On the count of three, the music's gonna stop. We're all gonna scream Mazel Tov Margot. On the count of three, the music's gonna stop. And we're gonna scream Mazel Tov Margot on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Mazel Tov Margot.
Oh, her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay, I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Her lips, I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates, but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Oh, you know, I never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay.
She is dressed as Queen Esther, our one and only bat mitzvah girl, Margot. Walk down the red or pink carpet. I can't tell in the light. Sasha, lady in waiting. All right, next we have Romney and Obama. Here they come. Here comes Faye as Snow White. Faye. And next we have Abigail and Zoe as kitty cats. Following them, we have Alex and Tamar as vampires. Allie, Annabelle, and Julia are zombie dancers. Zombie dancers. Excellent zombie dancing, yes. And you, Sarah, and what are you all? Isaac and Aiden, and what are you? Moroccans! Moroccans! Let's hear it for the Moroccans. And you are? Hallie, and what are you dressed as, Hallie? A detective! Hallie the detective. Who are you? David, and what are you dressed as? David, a weird, beautiful costume. Let's hear it for David. Nothing in particular. That's what he said, nothing in particular. You are?
Conan O'Brien, folks.
Wow, it's Conan O'Brien. Give it up for Conan, go ahead. Who's next? Come up, hurry up. like the pants. I'm gonna wear them to shul tomorrow. Who's next? Come on. Bill and Hillary. Very nice, actually, yes. Bill and Hillary. 2016, don't vote for her. Nerds with tutus. Nerds with tutus. Come on, nerds with tutus. The Pizza Man from, what are you, Bogo's or David's? Where are you from? And next we have Ronald Reagan. We have a flapper. Let's hear it for the flapper. Hot Connie and her husband. Hot Connie and her husband. I see you in Gourmet Clot every Thursday. Champion. Let's hear it for Champion. The Adams family. Whose cousin it? Your cousin not it. He's like, I ain't dressing up. I'm not doing this. All right, who's next? You are Flo from Progressive Insurance. Let's hear it for Flo. Flo from Progressive. And what are you, young lady? The Flying Nun, Sally Fields herself. I know, I don't look that old, but I actually was a kid when that show was on. And you are a roaring 20s lady, which is only a few years away again. Roaring 20s. You are a Roman soldier. Let's hear for a Roman soldier. And you are? You're medieval. Very nice. I like the chain. Very nice. Looks very realistic. Medieval couple. You are? The Fancy Nancy's. Go ahead, Fancy Nancy's. And you are? They are dressed as Jason and Danny Booker, the hosts. Nice. The Presleys. Achashverosh and Vashti. Let's hear for your host and hostess. And one more time, Queen Esther! Margot, here she comes. Oh, who else? Who are you?
Beautiful.
Karl Lagerfeld and Nana Wintour. Anna Wintour. I never read page 6 of the post. I pass right through it. Now, Ken.
Okay, welcome everybody to Margot's Bar Mitzvah. We having a good time, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna keep the program hopefully fairly short. Just a few speakers, and I'm the first one. So, this is not the Inbal Hotel, so I'm a little thrown off on what to do in a family simcha coming of age. Usually we're at the Inbal Hotel, and usually it's 90 degrees plus weather in Yerushalayim in August, so I am still schwitzing equally though, if that's any consolation to anyone. So, usually we schlep everyone to Israel. I know what some of you are thinking, that, you know, schlepping 6,000 miles, being on a plane for 12 hours, yeah, maybe I would prefer that to being in a costume tonight. Sorry. Margot, I don't think I've told you this, but exactly 30 years ago from this coming Shabbos, Parshas Zachor, Parshas Tetzaveh, was my Bar Mitzvah Parsha, my Bar Mitzvah Sedra. And in fact, tonight I have a Devar Torah all prepared. Honored rabbis, parents, and guests. Tonight I become a Bar Mitzvah. No, you'll do that one later. Seriously, Margot, your Bar Mitzvah did sneak up on me. I was not hounding you each and every day for months in advance to review your laning. In fact, it was Mom who learned with you and helped prepare your Devar Torah for tonight. Also, as you can imagine, I was not too involved in the details and the minutiae of making the celebration, so it really did sneak up on me. Margot, you were a bit of a change for me. As you know, I do not have a sister, and obviously your two older siblings are boys. I am not officially admitting this, but there may be some truth to the myth of fathers having a little sweet spot for daughters. I remember when you were about 4 or 5 years old, and you were causing some type of trouble in Mimi's store, and I was disciplining you. Beverly Newhouse interrupted me and said that if that were the boys, you would have been a little more strict. So there might be some truth to that. In looking for a quick thought today for a message for you during Mitzvah, I looked into characters. And yes, I am referring to the character I'm dressed as tonight. And no, it is not Aladdin. I'm actually Achashverosh. Achashverosh is not the most moral figure in the whole Megillah, but there are certain things we can learn from Achashverosh. In the 6th parak of the Megillah, we see that Achashverosh has a sleepless night. And he asks for the Sefer Zichronos to be read to him, and he hears about Mordechai saving the king, Achashverosh, from Bigsan and Sheresh's plot. Achashverosh then asks, Ma naseh yakar gedula leMordechai al zeh? What reward was given to Mordechai for this? The servants answered, Lo naseh imo davar. Nothing was done at all. Achashverosh's response was immediate. Maher, kach et halavush v'et hasus kasher dibarta. Quickly take the clothing and the horse that you spoke of. Va'aseichen leMordechai haYehudi hayoshev b'shar hamelech. And do so to Mordechai the Jew that sits in the king's gate. Al tapel davar mikol asher dibarta. Do not detract from anything you have spoken of. The language of Achashverosh uses is maher kach, hurry up and take. Va'aseichen, do. Al tapel davar mikol asher dibarta. Do not leave out a single thing. This teaches us a valuable lesson, Margot. The lesson of hakarat hatov. What makes us sleepless at night? Is it an upset stomach, or more often, an upset mind? Pressures of the day, items on our agenda that we did not meet. The king in our Purim story could not sleep, and he was reminded and told of a debt of gratitude that he owed. He did not go back and sleep immediately. He called a helper. No delay, no postponement. He said, Maher, hurry, kach, take, va'aseh, and do. Immediately he called for action in command form. Gratitude must be paid. While many of us do not have a person wandering in our courtyard while we sleep, our chronicles are our memories, and the person wandering in our courtyard and doing our bidding is ourselves. Expressing gratitude, hakarat hatov, is a fundamental element in Judaism. Margot, not only do I want to impart on you the importance of how you must show hakarat hatov for others, I also want to show my hakarat hatov, and it starts with you. Margot, you are a wonderful person, and you are always looking to do the right thing. You have brought such joy to me and Mom and our entire family. I want to thank you for that. You are extremely good-natured and always finding the good in things and always having a positive and happy outlook on life. That is very important and will take you far. There are many times that we laugh together and at silly things when everyone else has stopped laughing. Okay, sometimes you continue laughing even after I have stopped. I really enjoy watching you grow up, and Mom and I are so proud of you. We look forward to many wonderful times ahead with you, Margot. Mazel tov. I also want to express my hakarat hatov to everyone here for joining in our simcha of Margot becoming a bat mitzvah. Just some specific thank yous. Mom, Linda Boker. The family always looks forward to your visits, and we love going away on trips with you. We always have so much fun together. Even though I may not show it, I do appreciate all the advice you send my way via articles, emails, smoke signals, etc. Believe it or not, I actually did fill up my bathtub with water before Hurricane Sandy. The one person above all who's truly missed at the simcha today is my father, Lenny Boker, alav shalom. Margot, you were born just 1 year after your grandpa passed away. He would have been so proud of you, and I'm sure he's looking down on us and us from Shemayim and enjoying. It is hard to believe that I have been calling another couple by the terms mom and dad for over 20 years now. But there's not a more fitting way for me to refer to Debbie and David Siegel as mom and dad. Your love, guidance, and support for our family is beyond measure. But your generosity goes far beyond family or even friends. You are both shining examples for everyone to look up to. By the way, Dad, I'm a little surprised there's no J&F fire truck here today. Margot, although you do not know the full extent of it, you have and had amazing great-grandparents. Many of your great-grandparents you did not know. Grandpa Bill and Grandma Lily, whom you're named after, Grandpa Leo and Grandma Esther, Baba Birdie, again another great-grandmother who you were named after, and Papa Henry, and Zaidi were all amazing individuals that formed who we are today. And we are also extremely thankful that your great-grandmother, Baba Pearl, is here with us celebrating your bat mitzvah with us. I also want to thank my brother and all of my sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws and their families for celebrating with us. For some, it's a bit colder than what you're used to, while for others, it was nice to walk around without a coat in February. And for some, aren't you glad that you could drive to a simcha in under an hour? Family, of course, had to be here, but I want to say a thank you to all of our friends that are here, from near and from far. You all make this milestone of our families into a real simcha. I would also like to recognize all of the Rabbeim, teachers, and administrators from Hafter that are here tonight. The Talmud states that there are three partners in the birth of a child. The mother and father provide the body, God provides the soul. Likewise, there are four partners in raising a child in our world today. The yeshiva is the fourth partner. While we strive to raise and educate our children to the best of our ability, and we must do so, likewise the yeshiva, where our children spend a tremendous amount of their time, not only instill knowledge to our children, but also the midot that form the character of our children. Thank you to the entire Hafter family for helping us raise Margot into the fine young adult that she is. Margot, you are very lucky to have such caring and wonderful siblings. Although you do fight on occasion, your love for each other is evident. I pray that you cherish each other into the future. There's hardly words to express how I feel for the love of my life partner, and best friend. It goes without saying that you arrange the whole party, but in reality, you are arranging our entire family and taking care of us from the little details to the bigger plans. Donnie, thank you, and I love you. I want to wish Mazel Tov to Margot, and I want to start. The next speaker is my father-in-law, David Siegel.
Well, I want you to know that I'm dressed as Margot's teacher, rabbi. This is what they dress in Hafter, actually. Thank God the kids don't know who I am. My grandchildren didn't know who I was. I'm having a lot of fun here, and I want to thank you, and I think it was a great idea. This is not the first, this is almost like a Purim Chagiga. And I just wanted to tell you something that 47 years ago, I went to the Stern College Purim Chagiga. And across the room, I saw a tall, beautiful, red-headed South American, and I fell in love. 1 year later, on Purim, or just before it, I went to meet that redhead at a shul on 23rd Street, where she was a counselor for a kindergarten. And she was leading a group of young children in the singing of Sunrise, Sunset. I married that redhead, and that's why we're here today. It was a good choice. For me, anyway. I hope you'll permit me to take off these glasses so I can see what I'm reading. Can't see a thing with them. Okay, now you know who I am. A little known fact is that when I was a child, I had real hair. And the hair was just like Margot's. It was curly and bushy and a lot. Surprised, but true. The curly hair gene that I have came from my mother, Aleha Shalom, and was transmitted to me first, then to Donnie, then to Margot, and then again to Sasha. Margot got other things from her grandmother. She got her Hebrew name, Bela. And if you know Margot, and if you knew my mother, Bertha Siegel, also known as Bertie or Bela Finkel, you would know that Margot and Bertha had a lot more in common than merely curly hair. They had very good middos. I grew up in Brooklyn, in an area called Bronzeville. It was very famous for many things, such as a large Jewish community, the home of many Jewish gangsters who were part of a gang known as Murder Incorporated. It had a great kosher deli, and also Yeshiva Rabbi Chaim Berlin, where I went to school. We lived one block from the yeshiva, and my parents were very active in it, just like Donnie and Jason are active in Hafta. My father was an officer of the yeshiva, and my mother was an active member in its Mothers Club. Every week, she would help cook lunch for the yeshiva boys. I remember that Wednesday was spaghetti day. Before every Yom Tov, my mother would buy and distribute clothes to the boys. If her sons had new clothes for Yom Tov, so too would the yeshiva boys. She cared for people. My older brother Jack was so impressed by her that he decided to publicize her work. This was during the early 1940s when there was no TV. But there was a very famous radio show called Queen for a Day, which was on WOR. My brother wrote to that station about my mother, and they interviewed her on the show for a half hour. She was more than a queen for a day. She was a queen. She was royalty. My mother was an ardent Zionist. One of her heroes was Golda Meir. Before Golda Meir was Prime Minister of Israel, she was in charge of raising money here in America for arms to defend the new Jewish state. American Jews flocked to hear her speak and to give money for the cause. Golda Meir was also Israel's first ambassador to Russia in 1948. Today, in the great synagogue in Moscow, there is a small plaque on the second floor in the women's section with only 6 words on it. The words Golda Meir are written in Russian, in Hebrew, and in English, and in Hebrew. Russian, English, and Hebrew. In 1948, the Russian Communist government did everything it could to discourage religion. As a result, few Jews went to shul. Golda decided that the Israeli ambassador in Moscow must go to shul. On the first Shabbos she was in Moscow, few people attended services. But on the second Shabbos, all the Jews of Moscow knew that Golda from Israel was in town, and 50,000 came and filled the shul and the surrounding streets. She awakened the Jewish people of Moscow. Those 6 words on the second floor plaque speak volumes. Women can and do have an effect on our people, whether that is a housewife in Bronzeville or an Israeli prime minister. These 2 women, Bela Finkel and Golda, so different yet so alike, accomplished so much. One focusing on the individual yeshiva student, and the other on the entire Jewish people. When they were bat mitzvah, neither one of them knew where life would take them. But they both had the spark and the midas to have an impact on the world. Margot Lily, today you are a bat mitzvah. Literally translated, those words mean a daughter of good deeds. You do not know what life holds in store for you, but you have the basic building blocks, the midos needed to succeed, just like your grandmother and Golda. Margot Lily, you have so much going for you. You are smart, sweet, beautiful, and good. You have the ability to change the world for good. My wish and prayer tonight is that you use all your gifts and the love your family gives you to accomplish what God has planned for you. I love you and wish you a life of love, blessing, and accomplishment. Mazel tov.
hard to get into close with a kiss with his head on. Our next speaker is the Rebbetzin of our shul. I'd like to call on Rebbetzin Billa to say a few words.
But I'm going to say a few words from the parasha we read this morning. Margot, there are two different ideas about how the menorah was made. The Torah tells us that it was really intricate. It was all gold. It had many decorative parts that looked like Kiddush cups, buttons, and flowers. It had 7 branches that were all in a straight row. And surprisingly, even though it was so detailed in its design, the Torah commands that it be hammered and fashioned and shaped out of one large piece of gold. Moshe and Bezalel were not allowed to make the cups, the buttons, and the flower shapes separately and then glue or weld them all together. They had to take this one huge piece of gold and chip away at it until it looked like the amazing piece of art that could be filled with oil and lit up to brighten up the Mishkan. A second idea is brought down by the Medrash Tanchuma. It says that the instructions for the menorah was so intricate and detailed that Moshe couldn't visualize how it was supposed to take shape. So Hashem showed him a menorah of fire. Even then, Moshe was afraid he wouldn't do it right. So Hashem told him, throw the piece of gold into the fire, and then the menorah came out of the fire complete, exactly according to Hashem's instructions. What's the difference between these two approaches? I think we can say that the first one tells us that the menorah is made from one solid piece that is hammered and shaped until it comes out beautiful. And that teaches us something about ourselves. Every person, especially you, Margot, you are solid gold, is a piece of gold with the potential for being beautiful and good in spirit and soul. But the finished product of a good Jewish adult doesn't happen by itself. Each of us has to work at it, hammer away at ourselves until we throw away any negative traits that we may have and make ourselves into something beautiful, capable of lighting up the world and the people we love. The second approach, that the menorah is made by Hashem in a burst of fire, tells us that without Hashem, we are just one big piece of potential. We have the possibility of being like gold, beautiful and valuable, but we can't do it alone. We need Hashem's help and support to make ourselves into the best possible people and the best sources of light that we can be. Margot, Baruch Hashem, as I said, you are a wonderful girl, solid gold. At your tender age, you already understand the concepts of working on yourself and being a partner with Hashem. Bli Ayin Hara, you are outgoing, confident, articulate, and mature. You are a delightful conversationalist and a trustworthy, loyal friend. You have a wonderful relationship with all the special women in your life, whom I know well. First and foremost, your mom, more about that later, and of course your 2 grandmothers, Debbie Siegel, a source of warm friendship and genuine support to me through all the things she does so well, like fashion, family, friendship, food, hospitality, and Linda Boker, whom I first got to know as Mora Linda of Hafter, who left us for sunnier places, but who still brings sunshine, love, and warmth wherever she goes. Margot, you are so lucky to have your youthful, intelligent, well-spoken Bobby Rebbetzin Pearl Shapiro, with who is the matriarch of your family. You are so lucky to have your wonderful aunts, great aunts, and cousins. There are great men in your life, too. Your dad, Jason, who is a fantastic role model of a son, a father, a brother, a husband, a professional, a friend, whose integrity and friendship is valued by all. Your grandfather, David Siegel, your grandfather, Lenny Boker, Alav Hashalom, whom those of us who are a little older remember well and with great fondness, your uncles, great-uncles, cousins, and all the members of the wonderful Siegel, Boker, and Shapiro clan. Margot, you are enthusiastic and also sensitive about so many important mitzvot and midot. Your Jewish studies subjects, reading, math, Torah and mitzvot, shmirat halashon, brachot, tzniut. When you spoke to me about your chesed project, you were passionate and proud about how much it meant to you that you and your friends were making personalized, creative mishloach manot for Chai Lifeline children to give them some simcha and good cheer on Purim. It's so impressive that you and your mom undertook a serious learning project studying Rabbi Foreman's The Queen You Thought You Knew and enjoying both the bonding time and the learning together. There's so many messages that a reflective, intelligent girl like you can gather from what you learn and from your parents and your teachers. One such message is based on the two versions of how the menorah was created that I began with. It's with such a bracha that I bless you. May you always have the insight, the humility, and the determination to work on yourself and be the best you can be. May you also always have the zechut to have Hashem as your partner, giving you life, strength, wisdom, love, and all of his blessings as you live a fruitful, healthful, joyful life surrounded by those who love you. I'll just close with the sincerest mazel tov wishes. First to your parents, Donnie and Jason, both gifted, humble, generous people who give of their time, expertise, and love to enrich the lives of so many. Their involvement in Haftar helps Jewish children and supports Jewish education, Torah values, Eretz Yisrael, and the Jewish people. I express my personal gratitude to Donnie. Your mom has helped me in good times and in difficult times with her personality, her talent, her patience, her wise ideas, her professional advice, and her understanding. And especially in the recent Hurricane Sandy aftermath, I am forever grateful. Linda Boker, a mazel tov to you. You are so close to Donnie despite the distance to Florida, and it is a credit to your positive energy and your zest for life. Debbie and David, our friends whose affection, support, sense of humor, and generosity that our family feels in a very special way. You know what I mean. Mazel tov to Sean and Andrew, whose wonderful bar mitzvah celebrations we had the privilege to celebrate in Israel. You are growing into such fine young men. And Sasha, you love your big sister so much, and we look forward to your future smachot. May you all continue to give the extended family so much nachas. May you, Margot, continue to grow b'derech Hashem, and like the menorah of old, shine your own bright light on all the people who love you and on everything you do. Mazal tov.
Thank you, Rebbe Simbilit. Okay, we are down to our final two speakers. And the next speaker is my wife, Danielle, Queen Vashti.
Hi. I'm just happy to have my head at this point of the evening. First of all, thank you all for coming with such gusto and with so much effort. And instead of complaining about the costume party, really putting so much of yourself and so much effort into the costumes. Thank you. Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, a famous Bauhaus architect, is attributed with saying, "God is in the details." As an architecture student, I was encouraged to see the world through the lens of architecture. Instead, I tried to study the world of architecture through the lens of Torah. But Mises' famous quote definitely applies in our world of Torah. We can study the details of the Torah for meaning and for a connection to our personal lives, but we must study the details of our lives for the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of God. The first two chapters of Megillat Esther recounts Achashverosh's lavish banquet, the execution of Queen Vashti, and the selection of Esther as the new queen. Mordechai becomes a regular at the king's gate in order to keep an eye on his niece. and is therefore in position to overhear two of Ahasuerus's trusted sentries plotting to kill the king. Mordecai reports this plan to Esther, who informs the king. The plot is foiled, the plotters are executed, and Mordecai's loyalty is recorded in the king's diary. Immediately following this, we're told that Haman is promoted to become second to the king. From there, he plots to annihilate the Jews. Esther and Mordecai foiled the plan, and the rest, as they say, is history. Our favorite story in a nutshell. Esther is appointed to the throne, though, and Mordecai saves Ahasuerus 5 years before Haman is promoted. However, these two parts of the story immediately follow one another. Rashi explains that the reason for this adjacency is to illustrate that Hashem has set into place the remedy to the upcoming crisis well before the crisis itself starts to unfold, well before Haman is elevated into a position from which he can plan the destruction of the Jews. Mordecai and Esther are in place to execute the resolution. Rashi's lesson resonates. Haman sets in place the solution in advance of initiating this crisis. This lesson can give us strength when we navigate through our own lives and the inevitable crises, whether they're personal or communal. The choice of how to view these situations is ours. If we have emunah, if we have trust in Hashem, we must believe that the solution to and the tools with which we can bear our burdens have already been placed in our grasp. The families in which we're placed, the communities in which we live, the friends with which we surround ourselves are our tools. The everyday relationships, occurrences, and situations we experience are all b'siyata d'shmaya, choreographed by God to help us endure and hopefully flourish. This emunah in and of itself will give us strength and the tools that we need to cope with our trials. We're generally not given enough distance to appreciate these individual situations as they occur, but with time, we can see the evidence of God's help, if not his plan. Part of the tools given to us by HaKadosh Baruch Hu are the people with whom we interact. Each one plays a key role in our lives, providing a range of support from emotional to practical to physical to humorous. Each one is a gift. All we must do is allow ourselves to realize it and to take from each relationship the support that we need. But we must not forget that we too are a part of the master plan. We must recognize that we are put into situations for a purpose and that we have a responsibility to provide support to our friends, our family, and our community. I'm fortunate to recognize that each one of you is a source of support for us. And I hope and pray that we can rise to the occasion and be the same for you. Margot, my message to you today is that you will be a rich person indeed if you always remember the treasure that is the people that surround you. We have to be thankful for them all. We have to remember that we have a responsibility to them as well. It is this that enriches our lives. It's very easy to take for granted the love and the support that we get from our parents and our grandparents. When we ourselves become parents, our eyes are opened not just to the full beauties of life, but to the loving dedication that our parents and grandparents lavished upon us. Jason and I are incredibly fortunate to have parents whom give us their unwavering support. There are no words strong enough to explain our love to you and our unending gratitude. You are a symbol for us. You are an inspiration to us. Mom and Dad, Mom, where are you? You there? Thank you for being who you are and for being an integral part of our lives. Please know how much you are loved and appreciated. Bubba Pearl, you are like no other. You may have strong and unbending opinions of the various political figures, but you are a fan of ours no matter what we do, always giving us the benefit of the doubt. As a child, while in the midst of some fight with one of my siblings, I remember my mother telling us that she never fought with her siblings. How could this have possibly been true? But it has come to be that we have no siblings with whom we don't get along. On the contrary, we are fortunate to have 8 brothers and sisters whom we adore, look up to, and with whom we love spending time. Our siblings have become our best friends. We are further blessed in that we have many friends whom have become like our family. Aunts and uncles whom are like siblings and friends. The line between the two has really begun to blur, and we'd like to think that that's not because of old age. Each of you fills a special place in our hearts, rendering us complete. A reference to how this is similar to pointillism and Surratt would have been an appropriate analogy at this point, but that's a speech for another time. Though you all come together to form the complete whole of our lives, my true compliment is Jason. He makes me whole. Each of our children is a treasure, and each one sparkles in a different way. Margot is beautiful inside and out, smart, funny, thoughtful, mature, popular, and caring. The list of wonderful qualities go on. So many of them come from her father. It's no wonder that she has so many friends. But most amazing of all is Margot's midot. She's quick to pitch in at home, help a friend in need, and she can empathize even with those she has never met. When Margot and I were brainstorming and planning this bat mitzvah, foremost in our minds was to have a celebration that was appropriate to the occasion. We wanted to celebrate the awesome responsibilities that come with being a bat mitzvah. We wanted this evening to be fun, but we wanted it to be about taking on the mitzvot. Therefore, we wanted to start with the Chesed Project, an opportunity for Margot and her friends to do Chesed together and to have a good time while doing it. Tonight, Margot and her friends decorated and filled boxes of mishloach manot, which will be delivered this Purim through Chai Lifeline to hospitalized children, as well as to children in the iShine program. It was important to Margot to bring some happiness and hopefully a little distraction into the lives of her fellow Jewish children who are going through a very difficult time. To this end, these beautifully decorated boxes are filled not only with yummy snacks, but with fun costumes. I'm confident that this will mark the beginning of a long life of chesed and of being attuned to the complex needs of those around her. My words tonight are very inadequate. They cannot possibly cover the range of emotions and the thanks that I have to all of you. I thank you all for being here, for being such good sports, and I hope you enjoy. Good night.
Honored rabbis, beloved family, and friends, welcome to my Bat Mitzvah Malavamaka masquerade. For the first time, our family is celebrating a coming of age in the United States instead of Israel, and I'm so happy that you could all be here today to celebrate with us. 12 years ago, on Chaf B'Av Shvat, or February 19th, 2001, I was born. It happened to be President's Day. This year, as I become a Bat Mitzvah, the date that we chose to celebrate was luckily right before Purim. In preparation for my Bat Mitzvah, my mother and I have been learning Megillat Esther. We have also studied the Sefer, The Queen You Thought You Knew, by Rabbi David Foreman. Rabbi Foreman focuses upon the last 3 chapters of Megillat Esther and clearly illustrates how this last part is not just a simple recounting of the story of Purim, but it gives a deeper insight into a seemingly simple story of a foiled plan to wipe out the Jews. I encourage you to read this book, but for now I have chosen to share with you one part. There are many mitzvot associated with Purim, like reading the Megillah, Mishloach Manot, Matanot Avyonim, and having a Seudah. The reasons for all are well known and quite logical. Even the minhagim, like dressing up in a costume and booing at Haman's name, they're understandable. Tonight, I want to discuss why Purim is called Purim. Megillat Esther explains why this holiday is called Purim. Perek Tet states that Haman used a pur, a lot, to select the day upon which the Jew should be killed. Then it reminds us that Esther came before the king and wrote a new decree allowing the Jews to defend themselves, and that Haman and his sons were hung. Finally, the Pasuk concludes that that is why this holiday is called Purim. There are a few odd things about these 3 Pasukim. If we are paying attention, we could see that the news about Haman and his sons is in fact old news. They had already been killed 2 chapters before. Also, the order is wrong. Haman and his sons were killed before Esther wrote those letters. Why is all this information restated? Why is the chronology wrong? And are we content with having our favorite holiday, names for the method used to select the most favorable day to kill the Jews? Couldn't a better name be found? Perhaps Triumphant Persia Day or Esther Day. Let's take a look at the 4th chapter of Megillat Esther. In this chapter, Mordecai finds out about Haman's decree, tears his clothes, starts to mourn, and brings the news of this decree to Esther. Mordecai asks Esther to beg Ahasuerus to save the Jewish people. Esther is hesitant, though, reminding Mordecai that those who come before the king without being summoned are generally put to death. But Mordecai urges Esther to take on the danger and intervene anyway. He states, "For if you remain silent at this time, rescue will arise from the Jews from elsewhere." The exact words in Hebrew are im hacharish ticharishi, if you remain silent. This particular word for silence, used twice in repetition, is repeated as a doubled verb in only one other place in the entire Tanakh, in Sefer Bamidbar. That section deals with the process of Hafarat Nedarim, or the annulment of vows, specifically as these laws relate to a young girl or a Na'ara who marries. Esther 2 is referred to as a Na'ara who marries. The word for annulling is Yeferna, which has the root Pei Vav Resh, pur, as in Purim. Rashi explains that even just keeping silent while hearing a vow is enough to show your support. In the context of Esther's story, after hearing of Haman's evil plan, Esther does not remain silent. She bravely goes to the king. With her actions, she annuls the decree of Haman and saves the Jews. Esther didn't remain silent when Ahasuerus said that Haman's decree, sealed with the king's signet ring, could not be repealed. Even though the king would save Esther and those close to her, Esther was concerned for all of Klal Yisrael. She and Mordecai used the signet ring given to them to write a new law allowing the Jews to defend themselves. Esther's actions worked to annul the evil decree. This is perhaps a better name for this holiday to be named Purim. Esther has placed herself in danger numerous times to help her whole community, all of the Jews. This is a lesson that I take to heart. Today, I am dressed as Queen Esther because I want to emulate her. Her lesson of involvement with and concern for all of Klal Yisrael, and not just her own personal situation, is something toward which I strive. As an interesting aside, the Hebrew name for the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, can be read as Ki Purim, or Kemo Purim, which is translated to mean a day that is like Purim. As we might remember, it is our long-standing custom to start the Yom Kippur prayers with Kol Nidre, a prayer dedicated to annulling the congregation's unfulfilled vows. On Yom Kippur, when we sit in shul all day praying for a good new year and for the annulment of evil decrees against us, we have the opportunity and are in fact encouraged to evaluate our lives, our relationships, and our circumstances. Similarly, preparing to become a bat mitzvah has given me an opportunity to do the same on a much more limited level. I could see that my life is defined by my relationships with those around me. Please allow me at this time to extend some thanks to those most important to me. Mom, without you, none of the activities at this bat mitzvah would actually be happening. You are the best, and without you, I don't know what I would do. I love you so much. I love spending time with you, and I love every minute that we spend together. When we spend time together, there is nowhere else I'd rather be. You are always there with a shoulder to lean on and a hand to hold. You and Dad mean the world to me. Thank you, Dad, for always making me laugh, even when I'm really stressed about a big upcoming test. Not that that happens too often. I love when you drive me to school in the morning and sometimes, on occasion, get me cookies at La Chocolat on the way. You are always busy helping us and others with things that range from studying to computer problems to just making our school a better place. But no matter what, there is always time in your day for us, and you are so important to me, and I don't know what I would do without you. You are smart and the best dad anyone could ask for. I love you so much. Very few girls are lucky enough to know their great-grandmother. However, I get to see my Bobby Pearl and spend time with her at least once a week. Bobby, I cherish our relationship and the moments we spend together. You are with it, cool, smart, and absolutely spectacular. Grandma, even though you live in Florida, we are really close, and we speak and email all the time. I love that you come to New York so often and dedicate your trips to spending time with us, playing games, teaching us to knit, and of course, taking us out to dinner one-on-one. You are a wonderful grandmother, and I don't know what I would... Oh. Yeah, and I don't know what I would do without you. I love you so much. How lucky can a girl be to have a Mimi who is not just my biggest fan, but my personal stylist, couturier, accessory supplier, and confidant. I'm so lucky to have you, and to have you right here on Central Avenue, no less. Thank you for always being there for me. I look up to you and love you so very much. No matter what happens, we start our Sunday mornings with breakfast at the Siegel House. Zadie, you always set aside this time to be with us so that no matter how busy the week is, we will always have a special time together. You are so much fun to be with, always with a smile on your face, a funny joke to tell, and great pictures for us to look at. I love you so much and absolutely love our time together. As far as big brothers go, I really lucked out. You may only hear me admit this once, but Sean, I love you so much. I love how you always try to protect me, even when I complain that it is annoying. Really, it isn't. In fact, it makes me feel really special and loved. I love you too, and know that whatever happens, I've got your back. Andrew, we may fight a lot, but deep down inside, and I mean really, really deep, we both know how much we mean to each other. We really do have a lot of fun together. I love you so much and really look up to you. You are an inspiration to me, and I mean, really, you the bomb. Ever since Mommy told me that she was going to have another child, I immediately hoped that it would be a girl. Sasha, you are even better than what I'd hoped for. You are so cute, and you are the funniest kid I know. It's so much fun to be on the Friday bus with you. I love you so much. I love having you as a sister, and it's so much fun having a mini me around too. A special thank you to Alubia, who always has a smile for me and who has been a part of my life, my family, almost as long as I have. A special thank you to Rabbi and Mrs. Billett, who lead this community with strength and grace. We feel very close to you and are very fortunate to have you in our lives. A big Hakarat Hatov to Dr. Brand and Rabbi Kupchik and all my Rebbeim and teachers at Hafter. You have all been amazing and have helped to mold me into the young lady that I try to be. I'm very lucky to have many aunts and uncles that are part of my life in a big way. You are all amazing, and I don't know what I would do without you. You keep me laughing and are always ready to step in and help. You trust me to babysit the little ones during the day, organize your stuff, and always treat me like a grown-up. I love each and every one of you. A special shout out to Adrian for helping with the logo, invitation, and anything that needs to be printed and look pretty. Seriously, we could not have done any of that without you, nor would we have laughed as hard. I want to thank my friends for always being there for me. Even though we are a class of 30, we are all really close. And now, with all of these formalities behind me, let's relax, show off our costumes, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
She knows it behind you. Get ready, here's the easy part.
Mazel tov, Margot. Woo. Mazel tov, Margot. Mazel tov, we love you. Mazel tov, Margot, love you. You're so pretty. Mazel tov, you look so pretty. You look so pretty. I love you, Mazel tov.
microphone, my friend.
Mazel tov, you look so pretty, and I love you so much.
Everyone is dressed well for this party, as you can see. Get closer. The best individual costume goes to Medusa.
Medusa! She still wins.
Margot knows who it is. Okay.
Medusa with the snakes in her hair.
Okay. The best adult individual costume is David Nothing in Particular.
Oh, I liked him.
Where is David Nothing in Particular?
Tall David.
Tall David.
Tall David. I'll give it to him. Excuse me, wait.
Go get him. Somebody get him.
The most creative costume was Flo from Progressive.
I see you today like twice.
The next most creative costume were the vampires.
Oh, the vampires!
The silliest costume are the white-faced people. Where are the white-faced people? The silliest costume.
Oh, there you go. A prize!
I mean, what was the category?
What category? The silliest. Pretty cool.
Thank you, Margot. Thank you. Where's my wife? I just accepted them both of us.
The most convincing costume was the Amish people.
Ah.
Most convincing.
Gift certificate? Check. I'll take that. Thank you.
Okay. The cutest costume was the detective.
Ah, detective one.
The best do-it-yourself costume was Kim and Kourtney Kardashian.
As themselves.
As themselves.
Emily!
The funniest costume was David Siegel. The funniest costume.
Sadie!
The most daring costume was Celia the Nun. Okay.
Gotta go back to the convent.
Okay. The creepiest costume was Donnie Wise the Clown.
It's pretty creepy. The sweatpants are creepy. Where's your prize? Get your prize.
You can tell. Okay.
The clown was the scariest.
The best couple costume was the fake Donnie and Jason Boker, the Zrehan.
Hands with so many.
And the best family costume was the Elvis family, the Drazens. Thank you. Okay. The number one girl of the evening, Margot.
I know it. I'm so smart.
And cutest lady in waiting, Sasha.
Wait, who won the couple call?
Come on.
Let's go, come on! Let's get crazy on the dance floor. Come on, Margot! Margot and Sasha, let's go! Go!
Mazel tov, Margot, you're gorgeous. Mazel tov.
Let's go! Let's go, let's go!
Mazel tov, Margot. You looked so pretty. It was so fun. Mazel tov, Margot. Mazel tov, Sasha. We love you. Hi, Margot. Mazel tov. We love you.
To Margot, the love of my life, I love you, your brothers, your little baby, adorable sister, your parents. You make us so proud. We are bursting with joy at this moment, and we hope to feel the same way at your wedding. We should have the success to be able to feel this way till 120 years. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
This is such a beautiful affair. I have so much not to see all these happy faces and all these good friends of my children and my grandchildren. May we all live to have many simpers together. We should always be happy the way we are now. Thank you.
Mazel tov, Margot. Love you. Here, thanks.
Mazel tov, Margot. I love you, and I can't believe it's your bar mitzvah already.
Mazel tov to Margot Lily. Mazel tov to the whole family. I just feel so happy. We had such a great time tonight. I enjoyed dressing up. I enjoyed speaking. I enjoyed eating. I enjoyed everything. So it was a great, great night. I love you, Margot. You're a doll. You're my little doll. Mazel tov to you and everybody else.
Dear Margot, we made the top 5 reasons why we love you. 1, you have the coolest hair. 2, you let people play on your phone even though you're going to drop it. You know that they're going to drop it, so yeah. 3, you take blame for things you really didn't do because you're so loyal to all your friends. 4, you're so funny and your sarcasm cracks everyone up. 5, you are the nicest friend anyone could ever have. Love, Michaela, Naomi, and Talia. Talia and Naomi left, but okay.
Hi, Margot, sweetheart. I love you. I'm loving the bat mitzvah. Everything is so beautiful. Your mom did a great job. Your speech was wonderful. I loved hearing you. You have such presence. You're a wonderful little girl. I love you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Mom, Dad, all my family, all my friends, and everyone who helped plan this party. Bye.